Hello everyone and welcome to our third video on our series of videos on student success workshops. My name is Erick Kabongo. I am the intern psychologist at CASE. You will probably get to meet me sometime this year. So today we are going to be continuing with our workshops, and we're going to be focusing on some of the skills that you can use as part of your study techniques. In our first video, we spoke about the importance of knowing your why, knowing your purpose, and setting goals to help you achieve that purpose in life, and how it specifically links to your studies right now. And in our second video, we looked at some of the ways in which you can plan your time so that you are able to prioritize and invest your energy into things or activities that will help you achieve your goals and ultimately achieve your purpose in life. So today, to get into the details of what are some of the things you can also do to help you study better, we are going to just share some techniques, and some of these you already know, but it's just about adding to what you already know to help you better memorize or better study when you are doing your personal studies at home. So I'm going to share the slides again. So today we're going to be looking at skills for studies, and I am going to be focusing on 5 methods that you can use to study better. The first one is surveying, and this is really just about scanning information to help you get a sense of what you are reading is about. Let's say, for example, when you have a book, and the first thing that catches your attention is the title of the book. And when you open the first page of the book, you will probably get information about who wrote the book or the author, and then you will get a table of content. So when you look at the table of content, without even reading the book, you can already start seeing what are some of the things that are covered in the book. So it gives you a sense of what the book is about before you can even read it. And one of the ways in which you can know what a book is about, or a chapter is about, or a section of a lesson is about, is by looking at the introduction. And because the introduction gives you a little bit of information or a little bit of a summary on what that specific concept or whatever you are about to read is about. And another way to look at to get a sense of what the content that you're reading is about is by looking at the conclusion. So what you can also then do is you just scan through the pages to see things like your headings, what are the kind of pictures that they have used in the book, what are some of the questions that have been asked, are there any words or any sentences that are put in bold or in italics, because those are often words or sentences that contain very important information that you need to know. And another way to also get a sense of what a book or what a section of your concept or your chapter is about is by reading the first and the last sentence of every paragraph that is in that specific section. And the reason why you read the first and the last sentence is because most of the times your main ideas are in your first or second sentence. And by reading the main idea in the first and second sentence, you have a sense of what that entire paragraph is about. And the last sentence or the 2 last sentences are important because they also give you a conclusion or a summary of what that entire paragraph is about. So if you are just able to read the first and the last sentences, you should be able to get a sense of what this paragraph is about, because oftentimes once they have given us the first two sentences that have the main idea, the rest of the sentences are often pretty much just about giving you examples of how the main idea, to support the main idea. So that is one. And then sometimes you get footnotes. These are little writings at the bottom of your page. Sometimes they will put like a number and say, going to school is important, and then they put full stop and there's like a little number. It could be a 1 or a 2. So what you do is you look at that number, you go to the bottom of your page, you will see that somewhere there is also another number. If it's a 1, you will see a number 1. That is what we call a footnote, and you can then get extra information on whatever the one that was in the body of the paragraph was talking about. So that is the first method to studying, which is saving. The second method is questioning. So questioning is really just about allowing yourself to become a part of the process of learning. So instead of you just reading and getting bored, to get you going, to get you active in the process of what you are reading, you can write down questions. So let's say before you read a paragraph or before you read a chapter, once you've looked at the title, you've looked at the headings, you've looked at the words that have been highlighted and underlined and made in bold and italics, you can then ask yourself questions. Now, the importance of that is that as you're reading the contents of that chapter, of that section of the lesson, you then start answering the questions that you asked yourself before you started reading. Then it becomes a very active process where you are also involved in what is going on in your reading time. So the third method to studying is to read. Now, like I said in the method about asking questions, so reading really is just about, once you've asked yourself questions about, okay, what are some of the things that I can expect to get from this reading, from this section? Now you read to then start answering your questions, and it's good for you to start to write down those answers. And what is good about asking questions and then reading to answer those questions is sometimes you ask yourself questions that the teacher might also ask you if you study that in your test or in your exam. And it makes it even easier for you, because when you go for a test, at least you've asked yourself as many questions about that section that you have studied as possible, so that when the teacher asks you a question, it doesn't feel like it's something new, something that you were not prepared to do. And again, it also just helps your mind be active, and it keeps your mind working. And now what you can also do in your own studying is you can also make your own footnotes, and somewhere you write down to say, okay, the answer to this question is this one, the answer to that question is this one. You can link things, you can use arrows and different other drawings depending on your own style and what fits well with your way of studying. And now another way of really remembering what you're studying is to summarize. So let's say, for example, I've read an entire paragraph. To summarize really just means to put things in a shorter, to give a shorter version of what you've read in as few words as you can. So you can read a chapter that is about 15 pages. So what you're giving us, a summary could be something between 5 to 10 lines of that entire 15 pages. That is really just showing your own understanding of the entire chapter. And that helps you put the information in your long-term memory so that you don't forget it right after you are done reading. Now, another thing that is very important is it's to review your notes. Let's say, for example, you went to school today and you studied a certain concept. Now, what helps your memory remember better is after you get home, it's important for you to be able to go back to the notes that you made within at least 48 hours or before 48 hours. You read those things that you studied in class, then it helps your memory then take that information and put it or store it in your long-term memory so that you can be able to remember what you've studied even better. So this is an example of a mind map. A mind map is really just a map. Like, let's say, for example, when you want to come to school and you're not sure which road to take, you use a map. And the map really just guides you and it gives you direction. The same applies with the mind map. Now, this time it is it's a map for your mind. So to help your mind remember certain information better, what do? You create a certain drawing like the one we have here. And this drawing, which we call a map, is about mind map. Now, this mind map has 5 important things that it is talking about. The first thing is it's looking at what are the benefits of a map. So if I was talking about a mind map or I was reading about a mind map, and the first point I'm reading is, why is the mind map important? So what you would often get is the introduction, which is like an overview. It gives us like a summary of the benefits. It could say the benefits is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the second point is the benefit. The first point of the mind map is it's easy to memorize. The second one is it's simple, fast, and fun. Can you see how the bigger topic is mind map? And we're talking about the first point, which is benefits of mind map. And here I'm just drawing a line to say, okay, this is my general understanding of the benefits of mind map. This is the first advantage that a mind map gives us. This is a second one. I have summarized everything that might be 2 or 3 pages in my book about the benefits of mind map. The same applies with planning. So mind map is important because it helps us plan. What do we plan? We can plan projects, we can set goals, and it also helps us to have better strategies. I have summarized what could have taken me 3, 4 pages. Now, I don't need to know the details and write them here. This helps to remind my memory of the things I read, and it becomes easier for me just by looking at this map to remember everything that I read about the mind map. So the third point is creativity. When you do a mind map, you need to be creative about what? Ideas, innovation, thoughts. Productivity, it helps me be productive in how it helps me work much better and intuitively. Now, collaboration is also another benefit of a mind map. Teamwork, sharing, colleagues, and can you see how something that can take me pages and pages can be put in one little drawing that will help my memory remember everything or some of the most important aspect of whatever I could be reading. It could be a chapter in a book, it could be a lesson, or it could be anything they gave us in class. So try it out and you can tell me more about how the experience is for you. Because remember, like I said in other videos, it's important for you to take these things. The reason why we're sharing these skills and these techniques is not just for the sake of sharing. It's important for you to also sit down and practice. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes for you. Then you can use these techniques when you start studying, when school starts. So lastly, I'm just going to talk about some of other strategies that you can also use to help you remember information better. The first one is chunking. So here I've just included a brief summary of what are these techniques, but I would encourage you to please go and watch this video. It's such a nice video that shows how you can use all these concepts that I have included here to help you remember what you are learning even better. So the first concept is chunking. So chunking is really just about taking things that might seem to be all over the place and grouping them together. And the reason why you're grouping them together is to help you remember better. So I can come and learn about mango and apple and banana and pineapple. Now, instead of going on and remembering apple, banana, mango, and all that, what I can do to chunk the information, I can just say, oh, wait a minute. Mango, banana, apple, pineapple are all fruits. Then I have grouped all of them into one chunk. So every time I think about the word fruits, my memory will automatically remind me of mango, apple, banana, pineapple. I have chunked all that information into one category, into one group to help me remember all these fruits better. I know this is a very easy example, but you can use the same concept with other things that you study in school. You can use the same with animals. You can use the same with cars and different types of concepts that you're studying. So another concept that is important is mnemonics. These are really just, a mnemonic is really just also helping you summarize. But this time around, if I want to remember the word a rat, let's say this sentence, a rat in the house may eat the ice cream. So this is a very long sentence. So to help me remember this sentence, I can create like an abbreviation. You see the word arithmetic. Arithmetic. So what I did, I took the first letter of every word in this sentence, ARITHMETIC. And this is a very simple example. Sometimes you get very complicated sentences, but the idea is still the same. You take the first letter of every word in the sentence and you put them together. Now, to help you remember better, you need to then come up with a word that is short and that is meaningful. A short version of a word that is meaningful, that every time I say arithmetic, arithmetic is something I know, and it will automatically remind me of this longer version of what I am studying. So an acronym, we all know, an acronym is really works in a similar way to an arithmetic. So an acronym is also, the first thing you need to do is to write down what is it that you want to remember. When you're forming an acronym, you first write down what is it that I want to remember. The first thing, you also underline the first letter of each facts. Let's say, for example, I want to remember facts about South Africa. I can remember who was the first Black president in South Africa, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. So when was he elected into power? 1994, and so on and so forth. So you write all those things, and then what you do is then you take the first letter of each fact, and then you arrange them so that it can form an acronym. It could be ABC, it could be CRA, it could be whatever acronym. An acronym is really just a short version of a longer word or a longer sentence that takes the first letter of each word in that sentence to make it easier. Let's say, for example, if I want to say the United States of America, instead of saying the United States of America, I am going to say the USA. U is the first letter of United States, S is the first letter of States, and America, A is the first letter of America. So USA is an acronym for the United States of America. The same concept, you can use it with other uh, concepts that you are studying for your exam or for your test or for your quiz or whatever task you might have at school. So now, the memory place or visual imagery is really just about you creating an image. So let's say, for example, I'm shooting this video in this office. So to help me remember what I was talking about, which is I was sharing with you tips on how to remember better. So let's say I go home and I'm done shooting the video. I've posted it. You guys are already watching it. And then I want to remember what I was talking about when I was at work. So the first thing I might remember was that, okay, next to me was a cup of coffee. There was a mouse next to me on my right-hand side. In the background, there was a picture which had some purple and green. So I am remembering cues that were around me that will help me remember what I was talking about or what I was doing when I was shooting this video. So you could be studying something that relates to geography, history, or life science, or physics, or accounting, or biology, or whatever subject you are studying. And maybe you could be studying in biology, let's say the structure of the cell. Now, what you do is if you're studying the different parts of the cell, your eyes can take a picture of where you are so that every time you look at something that is in your study room or something that is in the space where you were studying, that image reminds you of, oh, okay, I was studying the structure of the cell. Then even when you go write your test, it becomes easier for you to remember because all you need to do is just remember where you were when you were studying that concept that they're asking you to explain or to define or to describe or to explore in your test or in your assignment or your exam. So the last one is really about rhyming. So I've given a little example here about, let's say for example, rhyming is really just about adding words that sound the same to help you remember other words. So if I want to remember the word bun, I know the word one, this letter one sounds the same as bun. So it ends with the same sound. So one bun, two shoe, three tree, four door, five hive, six bricks. Can you get the rhythm? So you create those, you put those together, these words that sound the same together, not because you just want to create words, but because in your mind, when you add things that sound the same together, if I can't remember one, I can remember ban. And if I can remember ban, I might remember one. So that's the whole point of joining these things together. And this works the same. I'm sure you watch TV and you can have an ad of anything. And sometimes you might not remember the name of whatever the ad is about, but there are certain words they say in the ad. There are certain pictures you see in the ad that automatically remind you of, oh, this product. That is exactly what we are trying to, what happens with the rhyming here. And music is really just creating a song out of what you are studying. You can take the that your summaries of a section in a lesson or in a chapter that you're reading, and create a song. You can even take your favorite song and you turn the lyrics into what you've studied. Then it becomes easier for you to even play instrumentals and sing along. But this time you're not singing with the original words of the song, but you're singing with what you studied in a specific chapter or in a specific section of your subject. So that is it for today. I hope this was helpful. Like I said in my previous videos, if you have questions, you're more than welcome to contact me, and I included our contact details in these slides. You can either email Paul Gabreth, who is our school psychologist, or you can email me at erickkabongo@ks.co.za. I hope this was a helpful video. I will see you in our next video, and thank you so much. Bye.